Mr. Avni, and then we'll go to Richard.
Since the Secretary General often talks about freedom of the press, is there any disciplinary action against the UN official who has called for boycotting a newspaper?
Look, I think, which UN official are you referring to?
I'm talking about our friends Chris Gunness.
Okay, just want to make sure. You know, I think Mr. Gunness was involved in a rather heated Twitter exchange, and what he was referring to, and I think what he was calling for is for people not to. He was not calling for a boycott of the specific media outlet. He was instead making his objections quite clear on a single article that was found to be problematic. But I think on the on the broader point, I think while we regularly have disagreements with articles that are written about the UN or are critical of the UN, and while we may have challenges and tense relations with certain media outlets, I think all of us here at the UN uphold the principles of freedom of the press, freedom of expression, and the rights of the media. And that is the principle of the UN, and Chris told us that he tried to make that clear in his tweets for that
Okay,
principle.
so let me see if that is made clear in a tweet that he sent on 12:42 a.m., 12/4/14 from Jordan. Ultra-right Jerusalem Post carries anti-UNRWA garbage boycotting me, i.e. no quote, asks Steve Lind why. Boycott the JPost. Don't read their lies.
I think
Boycott the JPost means do not boycott.
I hear what you're saying. Our principles are for freedom of the press, upholding the freedom of the press to write, and we would never call for a boycott of a newspaper.
Just one more point about this. This was not a Jerusalem Post article. This was written by Bassam Eid, who is a well-known Palestinian human rights activist who was opposed to UNRWA. It was a well-written, well-reasoned polemic, which doesn't necessitate, as Chris asked for, asking him for a quote. So I don't understand which part of don't boycott is boycott.
I think, in subsequent messages, and we don't need to read the whole Twitter timeline here because it would take us quite some time, I think Chris was very clear in his support for freedom of the press.
Are you saying Twitter is too long to read? I mean, Twitter's specifically is trying to be short.
Richard and then Gilbert.
I want